And we are good to go. All right. Hey, I want to welcome everybody to tonight's webinar. Looks like we got a question here. Hey, Trisha. All right. So let's go ahead and kick things off, guys. So that we're not strangers, I want to welcome everybody to tonight's webinar. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the LifeVantage opportunity. But first, I want to share a little bit about me, just so you guys know how we got to this space. My wife and I, we've been married now for 16 years. So it would be 16 years this October, next month. And you can see we have our beautiful son, Lance. He's right there in the center. He's 11 years old. He's literally the highlight of our lives. And you can see a lot of our life, a lot of the activities that we do, a lot of the things that we do all revolve around him and our family. My passions have been cycling and surfing growing up. They're two things that I've done for a long, long time now. The more time I spend on the bike or in the water, the happier I am. The less time I'm at work, the happier I am. And you're going to see how this is all kind of related into where our lifestyle is now. So married for 16 years, 11-year-old son, he'll be 12 in January, cyclist, surfer, working for the pharmaceutical industry. Prior to that, I was a physical therapist. I took care of world famous people, athletes, people from all over the world. It was fun. I made good money, but I moved back here to Melbourne, Florida to take care of my family. My mom was sick with cancer. My dad had passed away. And then as my mom got more ill, I realized I was going to be here for a while. I wasn't going right back out to Colorado. I wasn't going to be working with athletes. So I went into that pharmaceutical industry. And the pharmaceutical industry paid me very well. I won't lie about that, but I was extremely unfulfilled. And you'll see some of those things later on. All the while I was bike racing as an outlet, a way to kind of get away from the reality of losing both parents to cancer by the time I was 27 years old. And it was through that I met my cycling coach, Simon Kessler. And Simon shared with me something that he was sharing with some of his elite athletes. He said, Gary, I don't know if this is for you or not, but you should take a look at this video. It's an ABC investigative news report done on a product that I'm sharing with a handful of my clients that I coach. Now, mind you, this guy coaches world famous athletes. I mean, I'm talking world champions, national champions, big time athletes. I'm a state champ. I'm kind of way down on the totem pole compared to the people that this guy coaches. So I was listening. I was interested. I didn't watch the video right away that I'm going to share it with you guys in a second. The same exact video that was shared with me, but I didn't watch it right away. What I did though, is about 2 weeks later, he shared with me a clinical study. Remember my background, physical therapy, pharmaceutical sales? Well, to me, as soon as I saw that clinical study, I knew that we were going to be on this for the rest of our lives, my wife and I. I knew that right out of the gates. I knew I wanted the people that I loved and cared about the most on this. And then the other part that I knew was there was more to the story than what he was telling me. And so let me share this video with you. It's a short one. It's about 5 minutes long. This is how it aired on ABC Investigative News 10 years ago. As you're watching this video, think to yourself, who do you know that needs to know this information? Have you ever heard of this before? And last but not least, what are the financial implications of something like this? What's the opportunity behind it if you know about something like this before the rest of the world does, and if some of the things they're talking about in here come to fruition? So with no further ado, let's go ahead and kick that video on.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig. Dr. McCord, okay. I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist. This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And as decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
Yeah, there we go.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company. They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second.
I'll be right back. Go get the mallet.
The result? Oxidative stress.
Oh, knock it off.
The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment.
Doesn't taste bad.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes. So you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes,
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
Dr. James Crapo with the National Jewish Medical Center in Denver is also researching Protandim for the company. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would. I can't guarantee it's going to extend your life. I can't guarantee it's going to eliminate any diseases or cure any diseases.
But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. And I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
All right, guys. I know every time I see that, to me, I get fired up. And the reason is that aired on national television. And the crazy thing is, when something like that is favorable, it doesn't air over and over and over again. Let's face it, that's not newsworthy. It's all the negativity that's newsworthy in the world we live in. So that aired one time 10 years ago. And that helped launch this company from nobody even having a clue really what oxidative stress was, to LifeVantage being one of the fastest growing companies, not only in Utah, but in the entire United States right now. And quite frankly, in the world when you look at it. So we'll talk tonight about how you can feel better, look better, and live better. But let's go dive right in. When I saw that video finally, after I read the clinical study and I saw the video, I realized, I thought, everybody I know needs to know about this. They need to know about it because it represented a leap forward in technology over what we currently had available. And then the second part of it was I put my business cap on and I said, okay, we've got a product that has science behind it. Nobody knows about it. It's literally category creating, unique. It's something people are going to need every single month. That spells opportunity. That's a huge opportunity if the other factors are in place. And there was a lot of other factors that needed to fall into place. For me, initially, I was a product user. So I came into this thing knowing I was going to be on it, and a handful of people I loved and cared about were going to be on it. Here are some of the reasons why. The product, Protandim, it's unique, consumable, category creating. It's helped LifeVantage launch this entire, I'm not even going to call it a catalog, but this entire line of products that you see there that makes us the nutrigenomics pioneer and leader. What does that mean in English? Well, pioneer means you're first, and the leader means there's nobody else that's even in second place or close behind. We're using plants, that's Nutra, to have an effect on the genomic system or on our DNA, using plants that have been around for years and years and years, used in all kinds of other medicines for years and years, using those plants to activate the body at the genomic level, at the level of the DNA. This allows a complete approach to anti-aging, wellness, and performance. Guys, for me, it meant that I was sleeping better. I was waking up with more energy. I was able to produce more power on the bike. I came back from 2 knee surgeries in half the time that they said I would. I'm not saying that this product prevented, cured, or treated any kind of disease, but I can assure you I felt better. I felt younger. I had more energy, and I've just had this overall sense of well-being. My performance level went up as a cyclist, as a father, as a worker. I was able to get more accomplished throughout the day. And so it was all these things that are playing a factor in my head of, okay, I know something that the world doesn't know about. It's backed by science. You can go to where doctors go to do their research. Go look it up on PubMed.gov. For you, that may not be that important, especially if you don't have a medical background like me. But for me to know that these studies are housed at the same place where pharmaceutical companies put their research, medical device companies do their research, doctors go to do their research, and right there at PubMed.gov, you'll find 21 peer-reviewed studies on Protandim, not the ingredients in, but the brand name itself. That, to me, that science is powerful. And because of how unique it is, we were able to get exclusive patents, patents that protect our products, not just for now, but for years to come, 20-year renewable patents. And we have 6 of them in the US alone. I think 3 international patents now also. So what's the big deal about Protandim? Quite honestly, guys, this is my baby. This is the one you'll hear me talk about a lot. It's what makes LifeVantage what it is. It's what separates us from every other company out there. A lot of companies say we have the best X. It's the best in the category, the best this, the best that. We are the category. At LifeVantage, Protandim is the category. It's proven to reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. What does that mean in English? Well, we're eating and breathing all day long like the video was talking about, and the byproduct of that is damage to our cells. If you can slow that cellular damage by 40% in 30 days, proven. Go look at the science. It's done. It's already been done for you. The universities, they're way smarter than me. They're the ones that did all the research. Go look and see for yourself what that research shows. 21 peer-reviewed studies. Of course, we just showed the ABC Primetime Investigative News Report. Think of it this way. If a building's on fire, are you going to try to put it out a cup of water at a time? Or are you going to activate the sprinkler system in the roof and put the fire out all at once? That's what Protandim does. It activates your body to produce more of those enzymes that work 1 to 1 million instead of 1 to 1. So it really renders all those old antioxidants, they're obsolete because your body does a more powerful job, and it's much safer also. We've expanded the Protandim lineup to include Protandim Nerf 1. That helps increase your body's energy levels, mitochondrial production. They're the powerhouses of our cells. That's where cellular energy comes from. So we're increasing cellular energy and decreasing cellular waste or cellular damage with Protandim Nerf 2. It's the perfect 1-2 punch. Now, like I said, I would talk a lot about Protandim because it's been highlighted on all of these things that you see here, from ABC, NBC, Today Show, Primetime, to the Chasing Life, Sanjay Gupta's book. Montel's talked about it. You've gotten everybody talking about this product. It's been proven to work with all those different peer-reviewed studies, and it carries those banned substance and NSF science seals of approval so that professional athletes can use it as well. This study, though, I only highlighted one of them. This one stands out to me. Remember my history, losing mom and dad to cancer? I saw this study come out just a couple months ago now in June of this year, and the first 2 words blew my mind. Now, this is a National Institute on Aging study, the National Institute of Aging. This isn't a LifeVantage study. This is a 5 to 10-year study done by the National Institute of Aging, and the first 2 words, longer lifespan. Guys, yeah, it was done in mice. I have some people say, how come it wasn't done in humans? Well, humans live 80 to 100 years. That's going to be an awful long clinical study. In mice, you can get the clinical study done in a matter of years because their lifespan is much shorter, but it's very similar to that of humans. Mammals age the same way, and we found with Protandim, it's the only all-natural product ever proven to lower or reduce that aging and increase lifespan. And in this study, it was a 7% increase. Doesn't sound like much, but when you're like me and you've lost your dad at 62, 7% of 62 is 4.5 years. I'd love to have him around for another 4.5 years. So imagine how powerful this study is. And you know about it now. You know something that 99% of the world doesn't even know about. You're learning that NRF2 activation, the way that Protandim works, doctors are saying it's going to be the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. And that was just published last year. So literally the studies are coming out left and right now supporting activating the body, having the body make more of its own beneficial enzymes. That's what differentiates us. That's why we have such a powerful product on our hands. The other study there, it shows that Protandim is the most powerful NRF2 activator out there, even when compared to some of the pharmaceutical agents that are on the market. And you'll note that that study was done by a pharmaceutical company. Kind of ironic. So we've taken that same that same way of activating the body, and we've put it into a canine formulation because people are giving their dogs Protandim, and quite honestly, it's not formulated for their digestive tracts. It's a chewable version for dogs. Some people say that's great, but I've got to see the results. So the company expanded their lineup into the skincare realm. So think about Protandim for the skin, the largest organ in the body, and slowing that cellular aging of the skin. And again, in a patented way. True Science just garnered its first patent in the US, 4 months ago? I think it was back in May. So now that's patented as well. And maybe 2 months is too long to wait for the lines to go away around the eyes and the mouth. What about getting rid of the bags under your eyes instantly, literally within 3 minutes? And that's what those pictures at the bottom of the screen show. So whether you're looking at it for long-term health of your skin or short-term quick cosmetic results, we've got the answer with LifeVantage. The other thing that people want to see is they want to see results in their body. They're looking to lose weight, to get healthier. It's the #1 New Year's resolution year after year. And so Protandim and LifeVantage entered that realm just a few months ago. I guess almost a year ago now, back in December of 2015. And the results have been phenomenal. People are not only losing pounds, but losing inches. They're literally firming up. Think of it as getting more fit. You don't necessarily have to lose a lot of weight. What you do is you want to get rid of that spare tire, so to speak, around the midsection and look fitter and be healthier overall. And that's what Physique is allowing people to do. And then lastly, we've got Axio. Axio is our all-natural energy drink. Think of it as brain food, a way for you to focus, to concentrate, to be alert, activated. Think about, a lot of people just think of the kids and Monster Energy and kicking big jumps on skis or on a motorcycle and all that crazy stuff that people do. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're also talking about the mom that's running their kids to soccer practice and swim practice, like my wife was doing with our son tonight. She's been going all day long. Or like the other day on last Friday, I felt like I started my day at 6 and I wasn't done until like 11 o'clock that night. It was just going. But being able to stay alert and focused all along. So guys, This is where the light bulb went off for me. It was after all of that made sense, I started thinking, who do I know that would be interested in at least one of these unique products? And quite honestly, now that we have this entire portfolio of products, I can think of 5 to 10 people every day that would benefit from each of these. And those are the people that I'm reaching out to. That's what made that light bulb go off. And it's what made me ask a couple questions of Simon Kessler. I said to Simon, I said, okay, there's more to this than what you're telling me. These products are phenomenal. What's the deal with the company behind it? And that's when he taught me the system with LifeVantage. He put me on a 3-way phone call with a guy named Brandon Cunningham. Brandon's now top 5 in the world with LifeVantage. And it was those incredible results that I was having that got me asking him more and more questions. And what it made me realize was I was working harder at 39 years old than I was at 29 years old. I was working towards less financial freedom. They gave me a bigger territory, less pay. I wasn't fulfilled in that sick care industry, in that pharmaceutical industry. Yeah, I'd made a bunch of money, but I wasn't fulfilled at all. And I just sit by my phone every 6 months just to see if I still had a job or not. It was no way to live. And many of you may be in that same situation where your job is in jeopardy, or you don't have a plan B. Or maybe you have a plan A and a plan B, and both of those aren't working out the way you thought they were. And you're working harder now than you were before. That's what was going on with me. And Simon didn't even know it. But it was when I started asking questions of Brandon, I realized the thing that I was yearning for was to be that dad, to be the dad with true freedom, to be able to go to the field trips, to go to the soccer games, soccer practices, not have to answer to a boss every single day and worry about whether I was going to have a job or not. And that last point, guys, I can't stress that enough. Nothing's going to change unless you make a change. I realized that nothing was going to change unless I changed. I knew I needed to do something different. I didn't do something radically different. I didn't quit my job. I continued working my job, but I said yes to this opportunity and started doing a little bit on the side. And that little bit has just grown immensely. And I'll explain how ProTandem and LifeVantage has been the answer to my prayers. Guys, within 2 years, within 6 months, I'm making $500 a month consistently. Within 2 years, I was making enough to be able to fire my boss in the pharmaceutical industry and do this business full time because I had what's called leverage. I was no longer trading time for money, but I now had the leverage of my efforts along with many other folks' efforts. And that's what I'm so excited about for you is you can do it much faster because we have more products now, more science behind them, better leadership, a better training program. All of those factors are in place. So let's talk real briefly about the company was founded in 2003. LifeVantage is publicly traded on NASDAQ. The stock is cranking right now. We went from $0 to $200 million in just 4 short years when we moved into network marketing in May of 2009. It also helps that we have incredible leadership that has led other companies from 200 million to 800 to $1 billion in revenue. So they're helping us do that same thing, make that next big jump from 200 million to $500 million to $1 billion company. We have a 10-year sponsorship deal with Real Salt Lake. It's a major league soccer team. So you'll see them on FIFA 2016. You'll see them playing on television. A couple of our players play on the U.S. national team. So that's cool to get that kind of exposure worldwide. And that's what's attracting top earners from other companies. Now, trends have to be in your favor too. When you're looking at a business opportunity, it's not just the products or the company. Trends have to be in your favor. Well, the first two are they're not good trends, but they're favorable for our industry. And that's that Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Let's face it. 3 out of 4 people that you and I both know have more month left at the end of the money, meaning the money runs out before the month is over. They're living paycheck to paycheck. They don't have enough to stop doing what they're doing. And unless you have $1 million or $2 million in the bank, and if you don't believe my math, think about it. What's the most you could probably take off your investments? You might be able to earn 6% interest. So if you don't want to touch your principal, $1 million is going to kick off about $60,000 a year in revenue for you. And if you take out 40 or 50 of it, then you're safe because you're not touching the principal. The minute you start decreasing that principal, the money's gone. And now you're going to have to go back and go do what? Get a job to earn money to be able to pay for the things. You can't stop doing what you're doing. Now, people are willing to spend money, though, if they see value in that health and wellness industry. And then the other thing that's in our favor is a lot of the millennials, they're realizing that going to college and working the same job for 40 years, that doesn't exist anymore. And if it does, they're going to switch companies every 3 to 5 years anyway. Just look at most of the young folks' resumes in the professional world, and they're working a job for 2 to 3 years and jumping. That's why millennials want to work for themselves. And this is the perfect industry to do it because you have a tried and true system that you can follow. Now, network marketing itself, guys, it's a beast. It's massive. I used to think nobody wants to do that. None of my friends want to do it. They think I'm crazy. I said no 28 times. 28 times. But what I realize is it's a massive industry. $182 billion a year goes through this industry. People join it at a rate of 165,000 people per week in the US alone. And $200 million is paid out every day in commissions to people like you and I. Instead of the middleman and the advertisers and the marketers and the big corporations making the money, we are, because we're sharing this information with the people we love and care about the most. And it's a perfect opportunity for women as well because there's no glass ceiling like you might see in the corporate world. It's a great opportunity. I wish this was around when my mom was working 60, 70, 80 hours a week in retail in a department store. So all of that's great, but if you don't know how to do it, then it's kind of a moot point, right? At least with LifeVantage, we have a proven system. We call it the blueprint. It's a proven plan that shows you step by step how to build your business. Guys, for me, that was one of the most important parts because I saw the value in the products. The company looked rock solid to me. I knew the trends were in our favor, but I didn't have a clue how to do this. And the crazy thing is most of us, the top earners in the company, the pro 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s, which I'll show you what that means in a second. We've never done this before, but we followed this system. We were on the weekly training calls. We attended a monthly regional training. We did on-the-job training with mentoring from Simon helping mentor me to, like I said, Brandon Cunningham, one of the top guys in the company. We're here to do that for you now. So should you decide to join us in LifeVantage, we'll spring into action and we help you build your business. The other thing is we've got technology in our favor now. We've got cell phones. Guys, these cell phones are amazing. There's 4 separate apps in the LifeVantage family of apps right now with everything from how to run your back office, your virtual office, to check on orders and to enroll people and to place orders yourself and to look at reports to see how your business is doing, to being able to brand things and place them on social media, to do a picture of your dog and put Canine Health in the corner, or a picture of you exercising with a little Axio tagline on there. Maybe you want to share things onto social media. We have LV Share to do that. And then, of course, we have the LV Move app, which is super powerful. It's a way for you to help teach your brand new distributors how to do this business. It teaches you and them at the same time. And it's automated. It's awesome. It's like having a personal assistant when you get started, virtually for free when it's all said and done. So the 2 other things you need to know about is compensation and timing. Well, compensation, guys, this is all great, but it's not worth doing if you're only going to make a few bucks, right? Let's face it. If you're just trading one job for another, then it's not worth it. This is the upfront money. This is designed to help you get your money back quickly. So when you enroll as a distributor, and that's what we're going to talk about moving forward, you can join as a customer. 80% of our company is customers. And the cool thing is that us, the 20% who are distributors, earn all the commissions off of 100% of the business that's sold. So 80% of it's going to customers. They don't get checks. The other 20% is us, the distributors, and we get checks on 100% of the revenue sold. I hope that makes sense. So when you join as a distributor, go out and find a few other people. I know that your mind's already starting to think of a few people that would benefit from learning about this. Get them to join us. Share with them that video. Get them on a 3-way phone call or to a meeting with one of us. Plug them into that system. And when they join you, you're going to earn 50% on the product that they enroll. So if they buy $500 worth of product, you're going to make $250 a week later. If they buy $1,000 worth of product, you're going to make $500 a week later. Let's say they just want to be a customer. That's great. They buy $100 worth of products and you get a check for 30%. Guys, that's designed to get you quick money up front. There's multiple bonuses there. I'm not going to go into detail. Realize we get paid 7 different ways. I'm sharing a couple of the highlights that really stood out to me. So that first part was linear, right? You were enrolling somebody and you're getting a check. But the following month, when they get a reorder of their product and when they enroll other folks who join and get their products, as that pipeline of product users or consumers grows, that's where your income really grows. That's what that royalty commission is. It's doing the work one time and continuing to get paid month after month, year after year. So how does that look? Well, guys, remember, it's a consumable product. It's a 30-day supply. And if people see value in it and they love it, they're going to order it on a regular basis. And when they do, you're going to earn a percentage depending on what level they're on in your organization, whether you personally enrolled them or somebody on your team enrolled them. Everybody wins in this situation. As John Rockefeller said, he'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of the efforts of just one person or yourself. Because what if something happens to you? Because I've seen this example over and over again. When I went to Europe 2 summers ago, I went for almost 3 weeks in the month of July to go see the Tour de France, help out Simon with his travel company. I barely did anything with LifeVantage. But remember, I've been in LifeVantage at that point for 3 years. I've been in a total of 5, but at that point I had been in for 3 years, had done a ton of work and gotten a bunch of leaders involved. And while I was in Europe, they went crazy. And my business grew by $20,000 in revenue, which was about $1,000 increase in my pay for the month of July. Doing less work, but making more money. Guys, that's the leverage we're talking about. What about you? What if you took a few days off of your job? What if you just didn't show up for a couple of days? What about a week? And then think about this. What about if it was 4 to 6 weeks? And we've had examples of that in LifeVantage where life comes at people. Their kids get sick. Their parents die. And they need to take time away from the business. But yet when the team rallies, their business is still growing. So does their paycheck. That's royalty commission. That's what residual income means. That's the plan B that I was talking about earlier in the webinar. Now, you'll see there's 2 other bonuses. There's the matching bonus. That's a teamwork bonus. Think about this. If you ask a friend to help you move, they might show up. But if you say, hey, there's beer and pizza, and I might give you $20 for letting me use your truck, they're going to show up with their trucks. That's what this bonus does. It helps us show up to support you. It engages us with the right behavior to help on a teamwork basis. And then the elite bonus pool, imagine sharing in 1% or 2 or 3 or even 4% of global revenue. And that's what that elite bonus pool is. Ask the person who shared this video with you or this webinar with you, ask them to show you how this money is made, to explain this compensation plan so that you understand it. Because once you understand it, you'll understand where these incomes come from. And you'll see there that even a Pro 1, even the very first rank in our company, makes almost $100 a month, $92 a month. This isn't hypothetical. This is actual income. This is an average of all of the income that was generated from September 2014 to August 2015. So for that 1 year period, this is all of the income that was generated. Now remember, this is on sales of about $200 million in revenue. And when you add all that up, we paid back almost 50%. It was like $93 million was paid back to the distributors. So even Pro 1s are making enough to get their cell phone for free. At Pro 3, that's a car payment. Guys, I remember when we hit Pro 3, I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy my wife a new car. Why? Because in my mind, that little thing that I was doing on the side, the thing that I was hoping might generate a couple $100 extra a month, was generating an extra $500 a month. And you'll see there that even in the middle ranks of the company, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a month, that's enough to pay your bills, and you haven't even hit the top ranks in the company yet. In many network marketing companies, only a few people at the very top get wealthy. But LifeVantage wanted to evenly distribute that wealth, particularly into the middle ranks, so that people had the type of money that they could live on, they could pay their bills with, and that give them choices. Maybe they could stop the part-time job. Maybe they could bring the spouse home from work. Or maybe they could quit themselves and pursue this full-time, like I did at that Pro 6, Pro 7 rank. And you'll notice that the elite ranks, guys, those are monthly incomes. Those are real. That's out there for the people that take this seriously and want to go all the way. Get back with the person who shared this with you. They'll show you how it can happen for you. Cool thing is this. Right now is the perfect time. LifeVantage is financially sound. When I joined, they could have folded within a year or two. They were not doing well. They were bleeding money hand over fist. Now we're making money. Now we're financially sound. We're globally expanding. We're in 10 or 11 countries now, I think, 11 countries with plans to be in over 100 countries. We only have 70,000 distributors. Guys, when you start thinking about some of the big names in this industry that are doing $1 billion, $2 billion, $5 billion, or even $10 billion a year in revenue, they have 1 million, 2 million, 10 million distributors. We don't even have 100,000 yet. So it just shows you how early we are. That one thing right there was what made me say yes. It wasn't because I saw the big dollar signs. It's because I knew that we were first and it had potential. It was like rolling the dice. Let's see what happens if we get in early and the studies start to come in favorable, which they have, and we expand our product line, which we have, and we expand into other countries, which we have. Guys, now you have all those factors in place, and the time is now because it's about to break out. We're almost to that point of critical mass, and it's because of these new incentives and programs and that new leadership that's been brought into our company. So I ask you this. What are you going to do to launch your business? Which pack is up? It's up to you. But I knew for me, I wanted to come in on the highest level. The reason is your business grows faster. You have some of all of the products to share with the folks that you're enrolling. And also, quite honestly, the commissions are bigger. When you come in on a Freedom Pack, you're giving away half the commissions, it seems like, up front. And last but not least, you only have one chance. Oh, you get tickets to the next events also. That's huge for a Platinum Pack. But last but not least, guys, you only get one shot at this. People are going to ask you, what did you do? What did you do? They're going to ask you to help them make up their mind because they want that guidance. And if you said, I enrolled on a Platinum Pack, and within the first month, we enrolled 9 other Platinum Packs, and we went Pro 4 in our first month, that's going to blow their mind, and they're going to want to do the same thing. They're going to want to be on that same plan that you are. And we can show you how to do that. We can plug you into the system and show you how to do that. And we've had numerous examples of people going Pro 2, 3, and even 4. I even had a guy go Pro 5 in his first month. If you want to know how to do that, just follow up with us. We can share with you how. So I'm going to end with this. There's so many different things we can talk about with the company, but this just came out a few months ago. Forbes magazine, everybody knows what Forbes is. They were rating the top performing companies in every state, ranked by the return of their stock. And not only did LifeVantage show up on the list, and not only was it number 1 in Utah, it was top 5 in the entire United States. That meant it was in the top 5. It was the 5th best performing company for the previous 12 months in the entire United States. Out of all companies, that's like Coca-Cola and Google and Apple and all those different companies. And we were number 5 in the entire United States. How long do you think it's going to be a secret for? That's what scared me. So I realized nothing's more expensive than a missed opportunity. Don't miss out on this one. Imagine if I'd have said no 5.5 years ago and potentially could have been laid off from my job in pharmaceutical sales, potentially might have lost our house, potentially might have lost many other things that were important, but instead had that plan B, that fallback plan that now has become a plan A and allowed me with that time freedom and financial freedom that was lacking in the past. Guys, it's your turn. It's up to you. I welcome you to join LifeVantage. Get back with whoever shared this webinar with you. Ask them the hard questions. Ask them to prove to you why this is the number 1 opportunity right now for you and should be your plan B. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening, guys. Good night.